It's survival of the fittest is the soup du jour. I'm Roberto Trevino, and tonight, this evening, I have good stories to tell. I think this is a story night because, I mean, how much of weird food news can you really find out there? I've really kind of been finding the same stories over and over. So I said, you know what, well, whatever then. Of course, we've got to also just recognize why we're here, and we're here for all of our listeners. So first of all, I want to say hello to Argentina. We have more listeners in Argentina, Inglaterra, which is England, España. Welcome, bienvenidos de España. So we're having a lot of fun. So we're definitely getting the word out. We're starting to send our message around the world. In fact, I got myself a translator recently so that I could translate and say, exotic languages from around the world in hopes that survival of the fittest is the soup du jour gets around the world and everyone's listening from all over. We definitely want you to share with us different ideas for the show, different things that you found work better for you that maybe we discussed on the show. That sort of connection, I would love to have more of it. But it's growing and it's a lot of fun. I want to also thank, you can get our podcast on Deezer. Deezer's, we like Deezer. Actually, that's where we have most of our listeners, on Deezer. So thank you very much to them. Anchor, of course, Spotify, Speaker. All these places are super high, and super good right now. So... So let's see here. Don't forget our Patreon. Our Patreon's always very important for us to get that connection that we're really looking for. I think this is a good bridge for the kind of content that we really want to turn that Patreon into, because I think this is where, you have to be able to dedicate yourself to it, and it's a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. This, the podcast and, trying to just kind of do more content, whether it be in video or like this in the podcast. I think that's what, is making this just that much more exciting. I mean, once again, who knows what's going to happen in the world? Who knows what's going on? But we just got to keep plugging along and looking for new angles to kind of fulfill that vision, I also want to thank Orlando Brewing. I just actually picked up my pint here. Everyone knows it's been just really hot lately, too, in Orlando, Florida. It seems to be like in the 90s every single day, and mega muggy. That's M, mega muggy, which I dig. I don't mind it so much. I feel like it's kind of like the weather I think I want to live in for the rest of my life, just sort of muggy weather. I mean, honestly, I think it actually keeps you young. I think it actually keeps you a little looser in the bones. So, I think that's why even at my age, I can still cook because of the heat in the kitchen, which is amazing to me, because it's like with like lately, I've actually, Tapatoto's kind of doing its thing. Love that restaurant. It's super cool, super fun, but it's kind of time to let it kind of continue. Got a couple of good chefs in there, built the crew, made them strong, kind of gave the place a little bit of a little kind of jolt in the presentations and stuff. And honestly, it's ready to just kind of move on. There's good old Cappy, just like clockwork. And I've moved on to working with Vasily, who's the owner at Opa. Now, Opa is a legendary spot here in Orlando. It's a Point Orlando. It's it's just has a reputation for being a wild place that has really good food, but it is wild. And and I think that's where most people kind of, whenever I tell them, yeah, I'm with Opa or I'm at Opa, people say right away, oh my God, I love that place. You can actually dance on the tables. And they do. The people get up on the tables and dance. And it's definitely a festive atmosphere, and I think that's really cool. And the food to me is just so authentic, so good. It's really nice to see. So I've enjoyed that. But I think like all good chefs understand whenever they walk into a new kitchen. I mean, there's a crew that's been there like some of them, I don't know, maybe a few months. Others like 14 years. So you can imagine. But you kind of have to do your thing, and you have to go in there, and you don't want to step on anyone's toes. You want to be obviously very friendly with everybody. Then you have to kind of show everyone you got what it takes to cook. And you take on, I would have to say, the hardest station in the kitchen. And I just said, that's what I want to do. And, what do I do it for? I mean, I do it so I can continue to feel like, I think that in life, the longer you live, the longer you do something, there reaches a point where the time you did it as someone young and the time you spent in the kitchen and now as an older person, you realize that the time in the kitchen is actually less and less every day. So I still like to feel like I can work that grill, and that restaurant gets busy. I mean, a second seating over there. You're already done like 300 covers, but the second seating is about 400 covers in about 2.5 hours. And it is wild. And I worked the grill. I've been working it now for about 4 nights. And I'm kind of just doing it, enjoying it, really. But it whooped me on last Saturday. When I say it whooped me, let me be clear to anyone who knows what it is to be in the weeds in the kitchen. The weeds were real for me that night, and I enjoyed every second. I do not look on it like, oh God. I mean, at the moment I was like, holy shit. But amazing, survived to tell the tale. Looking forward to more nights like that. I mean, there's bigger jobs at hand that will be met soon enough. There's a new restaurant opening, and we'll be working on the menus and all those things as well. But there's that golden moment that when you walk into a kitchen and you face that monster, and I don't want to be like on some Don Quixote trip, like I'm fighting windmills now, no. But it's being able to do it. That made me feel awesome. It made me feel great. And I'm so excited that probably tomorrow at this time, I will be in front of that monster grill. It's like, all right, let me describe it a little bit so you guys can get it in perspective. It's about 6 feet long. You say 6 feet, whatever. Yeah, 6 feet of pure grill. All right, 6 by maybe 4 feet, just big grill. The place is a grill-driven restaurant. Very Greek. Like I said, authentic, delicious, wonderful food. But that grill gets cranking. And there's whole fish, the whole branzino, there's just lamb chops galore, obviously. And anyone knows that lamb chops can get really smoky and fire, and that grill cranks. 7 feet by 4 feet, one end to the other completely full of proteins. Smoke and fire and everything a grill is meant to be. Yeah, like that. And, to the point where the tickets were coming out, and literally Vasily was pulling things off the grill to put them on plates as I was sort of rearranging things and throwing more food on. Because what I did was I eventually just grabbed a stack of tickets, left them in a stack, and said, I'm not even going to attempt these so we can get all this out. And then I'll start again, and we'll refill things, and we'll keep it going, Or maybe every 3 tickets, I'll just jam out 3 more tickets. I mean, it was rough. Survived. It wasn't bad. The restaurant looked good. The restaurant, people enjoyed it, so we pulled it off. And once again, just I feel so fortunate that I'm able to experience these things still. And I see a lot of the younger cooks, maybe they kind of look at that grill and they're a little hesitant. And I'm just thinking to myself, no, it's not the angle. You need to jump in on that, you know? And there's some young cooks in that kitchen, which is nice to see because, when we're thinking about opening more restaurants and we're looking at, you know, that you have in-house, in-house trained and in-house really kind of indoctrinated into like that kitchen life, at a young age like that, what you have the potential of having in your own restaurants are absolute culinary monsters, want just the best. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now. So you don't walk into a kitchen like that and act like you know everything, or start telling people what to do. You got to just jump on the grill. So I did. And I recommend it to anybody. It's, I mean, I was going to say it's like midlife crisis. But you know what? No. Midlife crisis has got to be a lot juicier and tastier than that. This is some kind of soul searching, maybe torture that, as a chef, you still kind of want to do that soul searching, that's one of probably the original reasons you got into the whole thing, the whole, I don't even want to start cussing, but thanks to Orlando Brewing. Have I thanked them today? I can never thank them enough. You can't thank them enough, Hey, John, this is to you, buddy. Best of the best. Living the life, nothing like being a chef. Nothing like it. And, those of you who listen to the show and are not chefs, maybe, you're kind of living through the podcast, maybe. And those of you who are in the biz know exactly where I'm coming from. And, we like to share the stories. I think, it's all about telling the story to begin with, in whatever you do. And here I am once again speaking about how you should approach the legend that you need your career and your restaurant and or your business to be. You need it to be a legend. And you need to sell it like that. You need to push it like that. So, this is what we're trying to do here is we're trying to understand, how do we share the message of becoming a legend without even knowing what it is to be a legend? Other than keep always trying for it, But certainly legendary moments have been had for sure over the years and really up to the moment. With this new project coming, which I'm still going to keep a secret, but with this new project coming, it's it just kind of, once again, I feel like, you're living life, you know that you're on this side of the hill in the culinary, game. But still blessed with the opportunities to open new restaurants, to, create menus and to find those diamond in the rough cooks, to bring some already all-star diamonds with me from the other restaurants to the new restaurant. And, oh yeah, there we go now. And know that every one of these is just one less you'll do in your career. So the more often you get to do them, the better they're going to be. The best from you is the only thing they can be, because this is where the legacy is left. And it's in the cooks, it's in the building and the soul of the restaurant, like I've said 100 times. And I'm about to embark on a journey like that. So working the grill, as crazy as it sounds, I mean, yeah, I guess, right? It's part of that journey, and it's awesome. So, I got in one of those moments. I do it every now and then. We have the studio, with like candles, and of course, all the electronic lights are, to me, make it that much more exciting. So it's very cool. So it makes me very relaxed. Obviously, Cappy and Luna are in the house as well. Havoc Media, always in the house, always making us look good, or at least sound good. It look good as well. Sometimes. Maybe that's my fault. Whatever the case, I'd like to also remind everybody that we have a YouTube channel. Look us up. We're looking to do more content. Send us ideas. We were kicking around a show. I've been kicking around this show forever, but I'm looking to do a show called Dining in the World's Most Dangerous Destinations. Now, I know, been done, but you know what? If we can pull this off, we'll be able to document a whole nother angle. Over the years, books have been written and things, there was a way where stories were told forever. Books. How many books can you tell me talk about the Amazon? I mean, tons. Or Equatorial Africa. Or India. Or Europe history. Or American history. We can go on and on and on. Books forever. I mean, internet information. That's what I'm talking about. I tell you what, I'm sorry, y'all. I just been definitely a rough week. I'm really hoping people will stay healthy. We've had we'd have a little bit of an increase in the Rona, which we don't love, but it is what it is. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Stay healthy, everybody. Let's try to keep our restaurants open. Do the right thing. Keep them clean. Keep them healthy. Keep your staff healthy. And let's just do our side of it. So, as usual, it's always a pleasure to be here in Lake Nona. Find us on YouTube, Deezer, Anchor, Spotify, YouTube. We'll be looking for you. Patreon. Always follow us there. I'd like to thank Instacart. Now, with a name like that, you can only imagine. Come and live the good life. Download Instacart. Use it. Thank you for being one of our major sponsors now. Instacart is in the house. Download it today and figure it all out because it's wonderful. All right, y'all? Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. I'm Roberto Trevino. This is Survival of the Fittest, is the soup du jour. You know I love you. From coast to coast and around the world. We'll see and hear you soon. Take care.